everyone, my name's Danielle and welcome to another episode of Board Game Bakes. This is a fun show where we make board game themed pieces and components in edible form. This week we're going to focus on Sagrada, which is produced by Floodgate Games. And if you've ever seen the game before, it is beautiful. The cover has a beautiful stained glass window, and in the game you're using your dice to create your own beautiful stained glass window and fulfill certain criteria. Whenever I saw the box, I instantly knew that I really wanted to recreate this game in some form, so this will actually be the first bake I'm doing that I don't really think you're going to want to eat it, because it's full of Jolly Ranchers and I don't think you want to chew them. We're going to make a huge stained glass cookie, and then we're also going to try and recreate some of the dice that are also on the game box. So let's get started! To begin making these awesome cookies, you'll need some sugar cookie dough and Jolly Ranchers. I used a bag of Jolly Ranchers and the same sugar cookie recipe that I used from the meatball video. I'll put the link below. Now, when you're starting to make the stained glass window, first you need to roll out the dough to approximately 1/5 of an inch thick, which I don't think you need to get a ruler for, but just try to make it as thin as you can. I may have used my largest mixing bowl to cut the huge circle shape. It is what I used to get the proportions correct for the other circles. I may have used a pea cookie cutter to try and get the oval shapes. Yeah, a lot of pea shapes. And then when I was done, I used my fingers to give it more of the oval shape, so this way I didn't just have a lot of peas on it. Next, I also used 2 different circle cookie cutters to get the remainder of the circles on there. Have any pent-up frustrations? Here's your chance to get out some stress in a productive way by smacking Jolly Ranchers with a meat tenderizer or hammer or your fist. No, I don't recommend the last one. Now when you're getting the pieces that you need to be filling it in now, you don't want them to be powder, you want to just be small pieces. And you want to fill each of these little cavities 3/4 of the way full. And I may have had more colors on my first attempt, but these are still some pretty colors. You want to place the dough in the fridge for 15 to 20 minutes until it's firm. Or I just put in the freezer while my oven preheated 350 degrees. Bake for 15 to 20 minutes. It's recommended that you use a silicone mat or at least parchment paper so it doesn't stick. And you want your cookie to be set and the Jolly Ranchers to be melted. And you want it to cool completely so you get that nice stained glass look. Time to decorate the outside of the cookie to get that stone effect, like if you're looking at an old church. I started by outlining each of the circles with black. There's a lot of outline that went on during this video. And you can see that by outlining it, you're helping it pop a lot more. I did a similar thing with all of my oval components. Once again, you want to just help it to pop. And now we're outlining. We outline the circle and the other circle. Lots of outline. You get a lot of good use out of that thick black royal icing. Next step was to try and create the lines that are in between them. I had the box next to me and just try to recreate some of the shading that you see in there. And you want to try as best as you can to make it look like a circle. I did try as best as I could to make it look like a circle, but I am not entirely sure I succeeded. But it's a thought that counts, right? Now this is a light gray royal icing, not entirely white, and I'm using it to... I'm not outlining entirely, it's not right up against the black line, it's just another circle. I'm using the same color to try and get the lines in there, which is another effect that you see in the window. And it's very interesting because the cookie definitely evolves over time, because the little gray on there doesn't really look that amazing without the filling. But these are little domes that are going over each of the circular window components. I made a light gray, thin royal icing, and then a darker gray. Now it's time to use the dark gray royal icing I made. This is also the thin consistency. So I'm going to fill in all the other sides with the dark gray, and then all the area that's above the circles. And now I get to go through again with that light royal icing that we used from before to go in that inner ring around the circles as well. Okay, so now we've got phase 1 done. So now it's time to go over all that black we outlined the first time again. So this way it still has that line that you didn't see because it got covered up with the thin royal icing. Once I did that, I tried to create a stained glass effect by going on top of the Jolly Ranchers and just doing different lines and patterns to try and look like the colors were pieced together. And then of course in the middle, I did my best attempt of drawing a church with royal icing in a small space. I think it at least looks like a church, so it's a win. And then after that, you just need to go through and do any little details to help it all come together. Sagrada also shows stained glass dice. To create these, I used a hexagon cookie cutter and cut out the sides of the dice using a knife. I used the same technique to fill, chill, and bake these, but they need less time to bake since they're smaller than the humongous cookie I just made. When I decorated them, I used the black royal icing to outline all of the stained glass features and also to outline the shape, and filled it in with a thin black royal icing. I then used the black royal icing to put the correct number of dots on it corresponding with the picture and make the stained glass lines. And of course I had to fill in the dots with the light gray royal icing, and ta-da! We have stained glass dice. Thanks for watching this video on how to make your own Sagrada stained glass window and dice cookies. If you liked the video, then click below. And while you're down there, hit subscribe. Keep playing games and keep them sweet. Bye!